Okay, so what we've got here then is our references ready to go. So we're going to bring in our first component, which is going to be the torso, and we'll use that to try and line these up, because as you can see, even at that, I can see that these are going to not be correct. So we're going to start firstly by closing up the folder for these references. I'm going to right click in here, create a new collection. This one's going to be called model. Okay, so all the new objects that I make in there I can put into that folder. So we're going to be going to add mesh cube, and on my numpad I'll go into my front view, numpad 1, and I'm going to do G and Z to bring that up into place. Shift and my wheel to bring that over to the middle. Okay, so I want to do wireframe, so I'm going to do Z on my keyboard, switch that to wireframe, and now I want to adjust this to match here, so I'm going to shift from object mode to edit mode by either selecting up here or using tab on my keyboard. Okay, so with my box selector active, I'm going to choose these top two and go G for move and Z, take that down to there, and select these bottom two vertices because I'm in vertice mode. You'll see up here in my vertice, edge and face selection. Okay, so once again shift my wheel and I'm going to bring them up using G and Z. Now I think I'll actually make it separate, so I'll do up to there, and then I shall bring these ones in using G and X. So G and X, bring that in to line up with the side there, and G and X to bring that into there. Okay, so that gives me my view. So if I go back to pressing Z on my keyboard, back to solid. Now if I come using numpad 3, switch around to here, now you can see that there's a whole lot of problems here. The main one of course being that our reference image is way too big, but I can set it up this way first. So I'm going to get it, so wireframe, so I'm going to use, once again select the two vertices. Now remember, I'm in wireframe, which means I've selected not only these front two vertices but the back two vertices. Very important, otherwise when I was in that mode, if I was in solid mode, I would only select the front ones, which is no good. Okay, so numpad 3, wireframe, so I'm in wireframe, so I can now move that into using G, and this time using GY, bring that into the front there, and bring this one into the back there. Okay, so that's our position, but what we're going to do of course now is adjust this reference. So I'm going to come over here and open up my references, and before I do that, before I go too far, first thing I'm going to do is change the name of my cube, so it's going to be body. Or chest. Obviously the whole body is the body, but so that's out there for the moment. I'll leave it there. So I need to open up my references, and the one I want to adjust is this one, so I'll make it accessible. So now what I want to do is to go back to object mode using tab, click on the object, and I want to scale, so I'm going to push S on my keyboard and scale this down. Actually, I don't want to scale it in all the views, I only want to scale it in the Z, so SZ, like that, and then GZ to move it down. So remember, I'm trying to get down to here. Okay, so I need to put that to there. and then SZ again. Now remember, I'm only doing this part here, not the hip, so that's getting close. So I can go GZ, move that up to there. Okay, so as you can see, it's not quite lining up with our feet. But we won't worry too much about that if I just go back to the front view for a minute. So back numpad 1, so there's that, 3, so I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so what I can do, even though that doesn't line up with the feet, it doesn't matter, I can live with that. So I'm going to come back over here and lock that side. Okay, so now I can't go back to lock them both, unlock, sorry. Right, so now I can't select them. Okay, so I'm going to go back into, so now I've got that pretty good. Okay, so what I can do now is begin to make some adjustments. So I'm in object mode. I'm going to click back onto my the body, either there, and I'm going to select this top. So I'm in wireframe mode, as you can see, wireframe. I'm going to go back into edit mode, choose this top one here, and now I can go G and Y, take that back on that angle there, get rid of that by pushing N, go back to my front view. So now I can select this one and go GX, bring that one into there, and GX, bring that one into there. Okay, so back into solid view, there's our object. Righto, so you can see that all the way around this object I've got, it's rounded off. Actually no, down the bottom here is a little bit of we go back to here, to my front view, I've got a little bit of adjustment to do here. So what I'll do there is go back into wireframe. Okay, so what I need to do is to put a loop around here that I can use then to take these points out to get this little section here that comes up, straight up, as opposed to the angle. So I've got my cursor near the edge here. I'm going to go Control R, and you'll see it puts the loop there, and then if I left click I can start to move it. Okay, and then I can bring that down to about there, and left click to accept that position. Okay, so now I'm going to hold down shift on my wheel to come in nice and close to there, and as I'm still in wireframe I can select that, just this one on this side, and go GX and GX. Okay, back into solid view. There it is. So there's my body. So what I need to look at now is the fact that I've got a fair bit of rounding to do on all these surfaces. So what I want to do then is to select all of these surfaces, all these edges, sorry. So I need to change to edge mode. So you'll look up here. Remember, I've got vertice, edge, and face mode. So edge mode. So I'm going to click on the top one. Now if I hold down Alt and click that, it should select all those, but it doesn't. So I'm going to hold down Shift, click those, and those. Okay. I'm going to select that one and that one, 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 that one, that one, that one, and that one. There, you're all probably screaming at me saying, why couldn't you just select them all first and then deselect those? Good point. Okay, but let's just leave it for that for the moment. So I'm going to do a bevel. So if I go Control B, so Control B, okay, there's my bevel. Now, if I just choose left click to choose my bevel, and you'll see down here, I've got the option then, so I can come in here, because at the moment that bevel is just a straight line across, so if I can go like maybe 1 and 2, it should round them off like so. Okay, so there's my, now if I go into my if I push tab on my keyboard and go into my object mode, you'll see that that's looking okay, but of course I've got these edges that aren't real flash, so I'm not wanting to increase the number of edges at all. So what I'm going to do is going to go in object mode, I'm going to right click and go shade smooth, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so I've got my body named, it's ready to go, and we'll leave it at that and have a look at the next one that we need to make.